Natalie Sideserf here of Sideserf Cake Studio, and I'm going to show you how I made a Gucci wallet cake. Typically when I replicate objects in cake, I like to have that actual object with me. In this case, I do not own the Gucci wallet, unfortunately, but I did use images I found online, and I think it looks pretty good. So I'm going to show you how I made it. If you like realistic cakes, we put out a new video every Monday, so subscribe to our channel below and click the notification bell. We also have Patreon, so head over to patreon.com/sidesurfcakes and become a patron. Let's get started. Let's start out with some cake clay. So cake clay is just crumbled up cake mixed with icing. You could absolutely make this wallet out of a regular layer of cake and trim it away into the rectangular shape, but I'm using cake clay because I have leftover cake scraps from a previous cake and I don't like to waste, so it's a great way to use those scraps. So I'm just taking my fingers and I'm pinching the corners and shaping a rectangle. Then I'm taking a knife and I'm pressing it against the cake to create nice, flat, even sides. You can see that this is rectangular, but one side is curved. That's gonna be the top of the wallet. So I'm gonna pop that in the fridge to cool, and I'm gonna start rolling out some modeling chocolate. This is red modeling chocolate, and I mixed in a little purple. Then I placed that rolled out modeling chocolate right over top the cooled cake, and I used my fingers to kind of work the chocolate around the cake. Then you cut away the excess skirt. Then with gloves, you can go in and start to shape the wallet. I pinched each of the corners and I'm going to trim away that chocolate later. Then I use a pointed tool and I'm going in and I'm working the chocolate under the cake slightly and I'm trimming away more of that skirt. Now I can trim away the corners. This is what's so amazing about modeling chocolate. You can go in, trim bits away, and blend them with a tool. Not a lot of edible materials are capable of doing this. See, you can't see those seams at all. It blends really easily. That's why I use modeling chocolate so often. Then I'm gonna trim the next corner and clean it up with some tools, and then the final two corners will be cleaned up. Then I took a rolling pin and I'm just shaping out the bottom of the wallet. It caves in a bit. And then with sculpting tools, I go in and work the bottom a little more. Then I just use my fingers to push in the sides a little bit. So this is the side of the wallet and it caves in there. So you can see the modeling chocolate starting to get a little weird on the bottom. So all you have to do is take a knife and trim that away. And it has a nice clean edge. Again, modeling chocolate, it's wonderful, it blends. You can really work with it. It's just like clay. Then I take a pointed tool and I create a line to separate the top of the wallet from the bottom. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side of the wallet. Here I have just a regular old straw and I'm pinching the sides so that it creates the shape of a diamond. Then I place the straw into a glove and I'm going to use this to create the snakeskin pattern. The reason that you want to put the straw in a glove is because it creates a softer mark. If I just use the straw, the marks are really sharp and it just doesn't look as realistic. And I go in and I create all these little scales. And this is just based on what the wallet looks like. I have it up on my computer and I can see that there's these different pieces that are placed together. So I'm mimicking that by drawing out lines with a pointed tool. Then I go in and I add some threaded marks. That's with this neat pointed tool. You can go in and it looks as if it's stitching. I love using this tool. Now here I have an extruder. I'm going to roll up some black modeling chocolate, place it in, and then I'm going to use this tiny hole to create a nice, even snake. The reason I'm using an extruder is because I happen to have one, and it makes these really perfect lines. They're nice and even, and they come in different thicknesses. So I'm gonna make a thick one and a thin one. If you don't have an extruder, that's fine. You can go old school and just use your fingers to roll out the shapes. Then I go in and I place the thin lines in where they belong and the thick lines around the edges. I used a brush to brush on a little bit of water to make sure that everything sticks. Again, I'm just looking at images of the wallet that I have pulled up, and I'm copying where there's thin black areas and thick black areas. Two different thicknesses in line makes for a really cool design. Now with gel food color mixed with some lemon extract, I'm going to paint the entire wallet with some red, and then I'm adding these black areas. These black areas are kind of like the snakeskin spots. I go in and some of them are a little lighter in areas and some are a darker black. So I think the variety makes it look better. Once the wallet cake was painted and dry, I covered it in confectioner's glaze and it made it look nice and shiny. Now I'm going to add the 2 G's on the front of the wallet. This is just with modeling chocolate. I place them on and then I shape them a bit and trim them away with a blade. Then I painted on some edible gold. And there you have it, an edible Gucci wallet.